Welcome to my YouTube channel. We are going to go over a full facial balancing with a little over 2.5 syringes. I'm Janelle Ashley. I'm an aesthetic injector and a physician assistant. First, we're going to evaluate the patient. We're going to go over where we can add a little support, add a little volume to give a very natural, not overdone look. And then we're going to talk about exactly how we're going to do it, what products we're going to use, what depth we're going, what needle, and just how we're overall doing this entire case. Stay with me. This is one of the most important steps, is evaluating your patient. Right here, you can see our patient. She's stunning. She's mid-30s. Now, why they come in and what they end up getting sometimes are two very different things. So what brought this patient in? Because that's important. What brought her in is she says, my under eyes look tired and I have this nasal fold that's new. But that's not what we're gonna treat. When I look at this patient, I can tell she needs, here's the side view, a little support in the medial and lateral cheek where that tired line runs down the cheek from there and then far lateral. So we're gonna choose a filler that's gonna go deep on bone and offer a little bit of support because we don't wanna lose definition in that face. We don't wanna treat the under eyes and nasal folds until we get that up. And then lips is a totally preference thing. So yeah, we can add a little volume in the lips. Here's her pan facial. You can see that tired line pops out. So let's get into exactly what we're going to do. So the plan for this patient, which I've already marked, is 2 syringes of a hyaluronic gel filler, deep on bone, starting at where that tired line, where that line comes down the cheek, and we're gonna ride it up to her lateral cheekbone. So a lot of injectors mark the medial limbus and they stay lateral to that. I happen to mark the lateral limbus and stay lateral to that. Now, if I wanted to go a little bit more medial on mid-face, I can use a cannula. However, this patient, we're offering that nice cheek support. We wanna get it up, we wanna get it lifted a little bit. So we are going deep on bone. This is a clear gel filler. All right, we're going with a 27.5-inch needle. We are starting at the medial portion of where we're going to inject. So that's that lateral limbus line. And then we are going to carry that up the cheekbone. Small aliquots, not even necessarily over 0.1. So the initial point right through that tired line, I put about 0.2, maybe 0.25 inject, aspirate. I do two-handed aspiration. Go slow, and then we are going to carry that lateral cheekbone up with small aliquots. That is going to lift the face. You can already see we're adding some definition. We've smoothed out that tired line. What I do like to do is when I'm treating mid-face, mid-cheek, lateral cheekbones, I do like to inject one point, the most medial point on one side, and then walk around the table and go inject the other most medial point on the other side. That's gonna just give a little comfort to the patient. It can get more numb. And then we will continue more laterally. However, I do like to rock back and forth sometimes. I don't get too carried away and do one whole cheekbone. I like to do 1 or 2 points, switch to the other side. Make sure you walk around, make sure you position the patient exactly as you need. It is so important. When I was first injecting, I'd be a little hesitant to say, oh, come on, turn your face here. Position the patient. I'm here to tell you, you are creating a beautiful work of art. They have to play with you. They have to move their heads, move it for them. Tell them exactly how you want them sitting. So you can see I've rocked back and forth. I've picked up that lateral cheekbone. You can see that tired line is much improved. And I have marked her chin. So this is 2 syringes of a clear gel filler. They're filled to about 1.2 cc's. So I will have a little bit extra. This patient, I can elongate her chin just a little bit. It will improve the neck a little bit, make it seem and appear a little bit longer, and we might have a little bit extra. So I do the cheeks until I'm very happy with them. And if needed, I put a drop in the chin, and she doesn't need it, but it would look very, very good if we did have a little drop to put there. You can see that tired line has much improved. Again, we're giving just support to the cheeks. We're not getting wild with this, just a little support to the cheeks. And even though I have my marks, once you inject, especially deep on bone, you can go back and feel over top and feel where you might need to add a little bit more. You want it to be smooth to the eye. And again, this is 2 syringes of a clear gel filler. We're rocking back and forth on the lateral cheekbone. You can see the under eye looks so much more supported. You can see that she has that lift. It's not weighing so heavy on the nasal folds. I did let the patient take a sneak peek because she was in such good spirits and she was so excited. Again, smooth to the touch. I did have a drop left over for that projection on the chin. Make sure you know if you want to bring that chin projection out forward closer to you or if you want to elongate the face. Again, deep on bone, make sure you aspirate. I'm a 2-handed aspirator, which is perfectly fine. Here is our after. Now, we're not going to be done yet because this patient's going to then look and say she wants a little in her lips. But as far as cheeks go, here's our after. You can see that tired line is gone. This side view is going to show much more of that lift. This is soft. It is natural. There, you can see it's elevated. It's up. We give a little bit more support. For 2 syringes, this is a beautiful result. This patient had had a bad filler experience in the past. She stopped getting filler for 5 years. So this is a great way to reintroduce filler. It's soft, it's natural, and it's lifting. The needle marks will go down in the next day or so. It will settle into the tissues nicely. But now this patient is saying, oh my gosh, I love this. Now let's take a peek at the lips. So here's what we're gonna do. I went ahead and numbed her with a topical numbing for 15 minutes. I wiped her off. I'm going to go ahead and mark her, and I'm going to use a half syringe, a little bit over, about 0.5 cc's of a clear gel filler that's nice and soft in the lips, and we're going to augment just a little bit and especially shape, especially the bottom lip. Lips are so important because you want to kind of have a plan before you go into it. Are you getting height? Are you adding volume? Are you shaping? Are they balanced? I always show a patient a photo of 6 photos and say, which one of these is prettiest to you? And then we work a little bit on from where they are and we move them towards those proportions of the lips in which they chose. So in this case, we are just adding soft volume, shaping, but we had to roll that bottom out a little bit. I've sterilely backfilled a TB syringe. That's my preferred method when I'm shaping and trying to roll the bottom lip out or get some height on the top lip. Pretty comfortable to the patient. When you're injecting lips, make sure that you do have them animate every now and then. Sometimes you have to sit them up and take a look. You notice that when they animate, sometimes they lift aside higher, and maybe you can split the difference for them and get that nice, soft, balanced smile. But you do need them to animate a few times.
That actually isn't as are they starting to get...
Here's an absolute pearl that will save you a lot of angst. If the patient is asymmetrical when you're doing your consult, make sure you tell them. After you do lips, after you do cheeks, after you do any chin, jawline, anything, they are hypercritical about their face. So I do point out small asymmetries, large asymmetries, any asymmetries on the front end so that they don't think that I caused that. And another thing, you must hear me, get before photos. You have to. That is your medical record. This is before, this is after, this is what I've done. So here you can see, here's her after. Her cheeks have started to settle a little bit. You can see the lips are soft, the cheek is elevated. We got that lateral lift. This is a beautiful soft case, and I absolutely love it. The patient absolutely loved it. This is one of those works that, man, she's gonna go out this weekend and people are gonna look at her and say, you look great. The lips will settle. You can see that they're balanced. They have a little more central volume. We got a little more height to the lip. Beautifully shaped. If you have any questions, comment below, like, and absolutely follow. Here are her side by side, before and after. Very soft. Again, we did 2 syringes of a clear gel hyaluronic filler. That's about 2.4 cc's, and then half to the lips. Here's her side. Man, she's soft now. That tired line, much more improved. Changes the focus from that tired look to the face to a beautiful lifted face. If you have any questions, comment below. We'd love to hear from you.